When I think of the word squishy, I think about the protruding organs on the upper front of a woman's body, and that gets a thumbs up. But not everything that's squishy is as awesome as that. Take for instance the poorly designed center console lid of the Chevy Trailblazer, GMC Envoy, and their cousins. Today I'm going to dissect a squishy console lid. I'm going to show you the point of failure. I'm going to repair the console lid, and I'm going to make it stronger than GM ever could. In fact, it's so strong that not only could a 6-year-old beat the crap out of it with a baseball bat, but a slightly overweight adult can put all of his weight on it without an issue. The best part? Well, this costed around $13. It almost looks like butt cheeks, don't it? Yo, what's good, guys? Well, today we're going to deal with this. We have a squishy center console lid in my 2004 Trailblazer. Y'all know minty green, right? So just so that we're all on the same page here, we have a squishy console lid. This doesn't have anything to do with the console not staying closed. It doesn't have anything to do with this little tab being broken off of minty green. It doesn't have anything to do with speakers not working. It doesn't have anything to do with the fuel pump not working. It doesn't have anything to do with the check engine light. It doesn't have anything to do with the brakes. It doesn't have anything to do with the spare tire. It doesn't have to do anything about anything related to anything except for a squishy console lid. Sorry I have to dumb it down for everybody, but people get confused about what they're watching. I find it hard to believe that I have to explain all that stuff. This is the world we live in. So let's see what's cracking with this squishy console lid. We're just gonna go ahead and remove this console lid. Go ahead and pop out this little rubber shits right here. Minty's already missing a screw. Deep down in this console, you've got another little rubber piece. And, oh shit. We're supposed to have 6 screws. Minty's only got 5. Now we can go ahead and pop these 7s out. That's where squishy is. You can buy these plastic shells on Amazon or eBay or whatever, like 30 bucks or something, I think it was. Well, I'm not fitting to put $30 into some broken plastic, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna try to fix this myself. Also, a side note here, after all the edits, without the road test or any other associated stuff, I mean, the runtime was over 25 minutes. So some of these things are going to be in a time lapse. It's not going to take away any of the information. It's just going to keep the shit rolling. 'Cause some people have a hard time, you know, watching a 20-minute video. Alright, so I let the plastic bonder dry. This thing's sturdy, so I don't think we're going to have to buy a new one of these. There's a little bit of play in this thing, so I'm also going to put some plastic bonder on here just to avoid any future problems. This is just a shitty design right here, you know what I'm saying? Alright, so when you put your arm down on the console like most people do, it's going to put the weight of you just like on this dinky plastic right here. There needs to be some support. I don't know if this is going to work. I've never tried it before, but I'm going to give this little idea I have a shot and see what happens. So this foam should just fill up in here, so it should be just like a perfect, I don't know, kind of a rectangle thingy, but it'll come up to the bottom of those little bosses that stick up out of here. So it won't go above that, so this motherfucker should just fit right back up on here when this shit's all said and done. Should being the key word, because, like I said, never done this before. And while that's going on, I'm going to take care of some of this little shit that needs to be plastic bonded. I'm using the little stirrer. If you're upset by that, you can always send me a self-addressed stamped envelope and I will send you a formal handwritten apology. Starting to think I use too much expanding foam. Definitely a possibility. Alright, let's see how this turd turned out. Might be hard to see, but it didn't really fill in that well. Alright, so a short time later, I didn't want it to go totally flush. I wanted to have a little bit of cushioning, if you will. And that way, when this piece gets set back on here, it's actually going to squish. You can probably hear it. It's going to squish everything down. This is tight as a motherfucker, which is what we were going for. I don't think I showed this on video, but I did go in with the plastic bonder and get these plastic wells back stout. Now I'm not going for perfection here. No one's ever going to see the inside of this except for you guys. And this is for minty green, so it's not really a big deal. Really, I just want to see if this works. I think I am going to sand this down just a little bit. Kind of make it kind of decent. Does anyone remember if this was hard to get off? I kind of remember it being hard to get off. I'm going to edit out all these sniffles. One of my pet peeves when watching YouTube is when people are sniffling throughout the whole video. It's like, get a fucking tissue, you fucking tards. I'll edit that part out too for you guys. Doesn't happen, so can't say it's really happened where somebody's actually blown their nose during a YouTube video, but chances are that would drive me nuts too. I mean, this motherfucker is rigid as fuck, but don't take my word for it. Let's torture test this guy. All right, man. What do you want to do first?
This.
Go ahead, hit it.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was only one shot. Ready for this? What's this? Boom! I got it!
Oh, collateral damage. I think I proved my point here.
Is it squishy?
Not squishy. Look, feel it. Push it right here.
Oh, that's squishy.
Dude, before you could push your whole finger into it. Alright, so we're back with our torture tested console lid. We've got our little 7s to put back in here. Mr. Bucket. Let's sit back in there. Probably been a couple weeks since I took this out. I kind of remember it missing one screw, so it's only going to get 5 of the 6 going back in. This should be alright. And put our little rubbers back in here. Even though me and my buddy beat the fuck out of this console, I still want to give it a... I mean, I'm not exaggerating. I'm putting all my weight onto this thing. This is built better than the way that they built this thing 15 years ago. This motherfucker is solid. Yeah. So there you have it,
minty greens, squishy console lid is fixed. This shit went so good and this thing is so strong that this is the way I'm gonna redo the one in my 2003 Trailblazer. Like, this shit's legit, and for 13 bucks, you can't beat it. Alright, so I done forgot all about this thing until today when I was going through the footage, and then I remembered that I had that little micro SD card. So I went ahead and popped it in my old phone. I'm not gonna say what's on there, but just so you guys have an idea what was on here, we're gonna get the wife's reaction to seeing what was on here, you know what I'm saying? So all you gotta do, push the button on the right, the phone will turn on, then swipe your finger over, and then just give me your reaction to what you see.
The hell is that?
Yeah, click on it.
The
Yeah. Don't describe it, because that's probably not gonna be able to be on
oh
YouTube.
My God. Am I supposed to watch this?
It's so bad I wish I never looked at it.
That's freaky shit.
Yeah.
What is the one up to the right?
That's another one. It's even worse.
That's not baby right.
No, it's not a kid or a baby, no. Alright, well, I didn't get the reaction I was expecting, but I had to show somebody because I don't think anybody would believe me if I said I found a micro SD card in minty green that had that on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be one thing if it was like there was titties on it or something. Like, that would be pretty cool, and it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. But that shit, like, what? The moral of the story here, folks, is make sure you destroy any kind of hard drive or memory card or anything crazy that has any too personally revealing stuff about you before, like, 7 years later, somebody finds a memory card in their minty green Trailblazer, and you never know if that shit can come back to bite you. Always destroy anything that has, private shit about yourself on it. Like, wow.
What is up, motherfuckers? Today's road test. I think this is a 2013 Silverado. Not too terrible condition. Had some crusty, rusty rotors. Had some rear brake squeal. Cooler line's leaking. Nothing too crazy. So we're just going on a road test to make sure everything's cool. But I got to thinking about something. The next couple days I'm gonna be 41. And that got me thinking, where am I gonna be at 50? But more importantly, what am I really gonna be doing at 50 on a day-to-day basis? Because I'll tell you what I'm not gonna be doing. I'm not gonna be running out in the parking lot, jumping in a car, slamming it into gear, squealing the tires, pulling it in, jumping out, getting the lift set up as fast as possible to do some peanuts repairs. Working for peanuts. You know what I mean? If I find myself having to do that at 50, having to run outside, not even putting a jacket on, just fucking running outside, grabbing the car, hurry, 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 I think that would mean that my career as a mechanic was a failure. If I get to the point where I'm working at a place and I'm not trusted to do diagnostics, I'm not trusted to do engine repair, I'm not trusted to do, well, not really transmission repair because I don't really do that shit anyway, but I'm not trusted to do big jobs. I'll basically be having to run for peanuts. And if I'm running for peanuts at the age of 50, I'm a failure. It just cracks me up to see people having to run for peanuts. People that have been in the game longer than me, they're running for peanuts. You know what I mean? I'd quit. I'd go do something else before I ran for peanuts. You know what I'm saying? I understand people have bills. I have bills myself. But I'm not running for peanuts. Shit. It's almost like the service manager is standing out front with a peanuts pump, firing peanuts off for motherfuckers to grab and hurry up and go get. You know what I mean? Honey, how was your day? Well, I ran for peanuts today. Oh, that's great, honey. I was watching Oprah today, and she said the mechanics that have to run for peanuts are pretty much failures in their trade. Bring that car in as fast as possible and let's get these tires on here. We'll pay you a couple. What's up, motherfucker? I think I know that guy. Can you imagine being like a laborer mechanic at the age of 50? What happens when that peanuts pump is all out of peanuts? What are you going to do then? Anyway, that's all I got to talk about. I don't know what else to say. Except the Silverado stops very smooth. Casually walked into the parking lot, got it, brought it inside, put it up in the air. Slapped some pads and rotors on the front. Cleaned and adjusted the rear brakes. They were making some noise. All in all, not too bad. The biggest thing I learned is that doing oil cooler lines in one of these 2013 Silverados with the 5.3 is you do have to drop the front diff a little bit to get those cooler lines finagled out of there. But at least I didn't have to run for peanuts.